So we all love that well-struck iron shot, decent club speed, good ball speed, smash factor not perfect, but carrying at 160, launching and flying nice and powerfully. Now, like I said, we all love that, but unfortunately, not too many golfers out there experience that on a regular basis. And what I tend to see more so with golfers is that from a good setup position, because there's some good information out there nowadays, what they'll tend to do, even on their well-struck shots, is launch the ball much, much higher. Don't really get the club traveling down too much. We can see their angle of attack only 0.4 degrees down, the low point slightly ahead of the golf ball. And even though that's got out there really nicely, all too often it's easy to catch it a little heavy, a little thin, and really get different strikes, different distances. But the key is, how do we make sure we get into that nice, powerful impact position? Because I think most of us are aware that if we want to hit shots from the floor well, we need to get the golf club traveling down into impact. We need shaft lean, we need the hips opening up, the torso opening up, we need the trail arm moving correctly. And there's a lot of things that we have to get right. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about how a little drill we can get to feel how that trail arm moves correctly can really help get all the other parts of the body in the right place, really deliver that club in a powerful impact position, compress that ball, and really improve your ball striking. So let's talk about the biggest difference I see with that trail arm, or for a right-handed golfer, the right arm, left-handed golfer, the left arm, but the back arm at impact. So the really good ball strikers, what we'll see is as they come into impact, the elbow leads, there's a nice bit of wrist angle into there, and as that leads in, the body can turn out the way, the shaft can lean forward, and we get that strike. But what we tend to see with golfers who don't strike it as consistently well is down into impact, the elbow never really gets catching up to that trail leg, the club release is early, the trail arm straightens, makes the swing much, much wider, so it means you have to stand up a little bit through impact, and it makes it very hard to control the bottom of the arc. So like I said, what we're looking to see is getting that trail arm moving better into the golf ball, that even though that one's turned over a little bit, we can see low point ahead, ball launching much lower, ball speed jumps up, and some good carry and a much flatter trajectory. Now, as a general rule, when you watch kind of the best players in the world as well, even though they'll hit the ball very high, they only hit it high because they hit it a long way, so it continues on that trajectory for a long time. All too often with golfers potentially that are watching now, comment below if this is you, they're adding that loft, and even the good ones don't seem to go the distance they want. So the way I'm going to get you to feel how that trail arm works in your golf swing is when you pick a ball up, pop the club down, stand side on, and you're going to throw the ball out onto the range. Obviously, if you're in your lounge, this might not work as well, but I want you to feel almost like you'd be skimming a stone. So we're not throwing down, we're feeling that we're throwing very, very level. And what you'll see when you skim a ball or a stone is as you go to throw, you'll move into that lead leg, you'll start to rotate, the elbow will start to lead, the hand will stay back, and then you'll release. And that is such a good, powerful sequence if you can get into that habit. So stand side on, feel like you're skimming a stone. Now, I know what you're saying, yeah, but I can't skim a golf club. No, but I want you to try and get that same kind of feeling, but use your imagination. You're not going to let go of the club, but we're going to feel, once we get to the top of the swing, like we're doing that skimming motion. And you can definitely see there that once I get back, normally golfers tend to want to let everything go early and get into here, whereas with the skimming feeling, it feels like the body moves first, the club drops behind, the elbow and trail arm lead in, and then we're much more here at impact. So what we'd say is let's try a couple where we're not quite at full speed and see how that feels. So we're going to feel like we're skimming a stone down the range. Now, caught that one a little bit thin. Now, if you do that, I'm going to explain why that would be the case. So if you are somebody who would normally release the club early and have that trail arm very, very straight, you can see in order to not hit way behind the golf ball, you have to maintain your height during the golf swing. Now, the problem is, if you start delivering the club better, as that trail arm is still bent and you've maintained your height, you can see the club's going to be above the ground, so you'll catch it thin. So you'll always see those better players, as they're getting back and starting down, we see a little squat movement, that's that drop of height. Then that trail arm starts to move and lead in towards the trail hip. Now, the trail arm's bent. Shaft's leading forward, compressing the golf ball, and that's why you can't afford to keep your height in the golf swing if you want to compress the golf ball and get good shaft lean. So we're going to try that again, a little slower. And this might not surprise you to notice that I used to be much more this way at impact. I'm still working on that, not doing it as well as I'd like, but better than I used to be. So we're going to go slightly slower swing again. So really felt very different through the ball there. So a little less club head speed, still really good ball speed at 112 mile an hour, a better smash factor, 4.5 inches ahead, so the club moving down 5 degrees, launching at under 16 degrees and 163 carry. So like with anything, I think when you take speed out, it just improves a little bit of awareness as to what you're doing. And then once you're able to get the movement better, then you can start to put a little bit of speed in. So let's go another one, a little bit slower to begin with. Try and feel like I'm skimming the ball, get that trail arm working better. And let's see if I can strike another one. Not quite as good. So ball turning over, 1 degree down, 15 degree launch, but still good carry. So you can see, even though I'm slower, because I'm presenting less loft, I present more ball speed and the ball goes further. So now if I felt like I skim a ball hard, then we're going to set up, try and put some speed in and see if I can get that feeling again. That feels much more like I want my golf swing to feel. 89 mile an hour club head speed, just under 121 ball speed, low point 1.4 inches ahead, club moving down 1.6, 18.5 launch, and 177 carry. Now, even though that felt great, I know that I can be even better and keep more loft off. So again, get that feel, skimming the stone, and I want to really feel that I get as much of that sensation as possible in this swing. Felt good. Aimed a little right and not drawn that as much. So again, just under 90 mile an hour club speed, 122 ball speed, launching at 16.6, slightly flatter at 94 feet, and 176 carry. So I know this might sound an odd one, and you might comment below and say, but I don't know how to skim a stone. Well, you could also practice that, have a bit of fun while you're learning skimming a stone, and helping improve your golf swing. So let's have one last one. Really going to feel like I skim this, lots of speed, and let's see how low and how far I can get that ball launching and flying. Just a tiny bit thin. So again, more speed at 91 mile an hour, ball speed at 115, low point a little further forward at 3 inches, launching at 16 degrees, and 159 carry. So like I said, getting into that nice powerful impact position, the more you look at it, the more there's a lot of things that you need to get right to get there. I'm a massive believer as a coach, if you can do a drill or get a sensation that lets you get into those positions without trying to work on them independently, it's going to be much more natural, much easier to achieve, and you're going to hit more good shots lots quicker than working on them one by one. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.